We all know Family Guy's supposed to be funny, but every now and then you catch yourself thinking, wait, that wasn't just a joke. That was actually messed up.
I'm gonna pretend you're the New York Knicks.
Because let's be real, some of these characters aren't just weird or annoying. They're straight up evil, manipulative, heartless, and sometimes disturbingly cruel. So today we're pulling back the curtain and exposing the characters who went way beyond comedy.
Here they are.
Let's not waste time sugarcoating. Stewie Griffin is evil. Brilliant, manipulative, and equipped with a vocabulary that rivals most scholars, he's not your average baby. From the moment he was introduced, Stewie made it clear that his primary goal in life was matricide, the murder of his mother, Lois Griffin. Not only has he attempted this multiple times, but he's also built entire weapons programs around the objective. One of the most unsettling aspects of Stewie's evil is how calculated it is. This isn't a toddler lashing out in tantrum. This is a child who creates high-level tech, enslaves others, and conducts psychological warfare.
Oh, God, there's
Brian,
no Kleenex.
I love you so-
In Lois Kills Stewie and Stewie Kills Lois, we watch a fully realized version of what happens when he gets his way. He becomes a tyrannical world dictator, executing people for fun and destroying entire governments. And it doesn't stop at Lois. Stewie has tortured Brian,
Where's my money, man?
committed time travel-based murders, enslaved an entire alternate universe of dogs, and once cloned a subservient version of himself just to have a slave that he later murdered without remorse. He's erased people from timelines, created sentient beings and destroyed them, and in more than one timeline, successfully ruled the Earth. What makes Stewie's evil so disturbing is his duality. In one moment, he's participating in family life, giggling and babbling. The next, he's putting together a neutron bomb. He wears the mask of a baby, but behind that facade is a cold, ruthless mind that views life, especially human life, as a tool for amusement or revenge. Carter Pewterschmidt. Wealth doesn't make you evil, but Carter Pewterschmidt's attitude toward life, people, and power certainly does. As Lois's father and the patriarch of a vast business empire, Carter embodies the worst of capitalism: greed, cruelty, manipulation, and disdain for human decency. Carter has no empathy. He treats his employees like disposable tools, exploits workers, and openly discusses using sweatshops in foreign countries. He once destroyed Peter's toy company simply because it was making more money than his own.
Hi, Mr. Pewterschmidt.
Hello, Peter.
What's up?
Good? Oh, damn it. I mean, not much.
He's let people die out of convenience and even admitted he refuses to help the poor because he finds them disgusting. In one episode, Carter tricks Peter into taking over his company just to watch it fail. And when Peter doesn't, Carter sabotages him. He even once faked having cancer to avoid paying taxes. And when Lois asked him to donate money for a good cause, he literally laughed in her face. But his evil isn't just corporate. Carter is emotionally abusive to his own daughter, constantly belittling Lois and asserting control over her. He treats her more like a business liability than a person, and he openly undermines her choices, including her marriage to Peter. Behind his luxury, Carter is a cold-hearted tyrant who would gladly watch the world burn as long as it made him richer.
Sure.
Oh, fantastic. What the hell was that for?
Now we have the pot and the money.
Angela. While often portrayed as tough but fair, Angela, the head of the Pawtucket Brewery, is actually a dark character whose power trips have caused real psychological damage to Peter and others.
I dropped my pencil.
Oh, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, this is gonna work out just fine.
She thrives on manipulation and control, and her actions go far beyond mere office politics. Angela routinely humiliates Peter in front of others, enforces bizarre punishments, and once tricked Peter into thinking he'd killed someone just to teach him a lesson. She's fired employees over minor infractions, used threats to control workplace behavior, and in one episode, forced Peter into a sexual situation under the threat of job loss. Yes, that's workplace coercion and sexual assault masked in a comedic wrapper. But strip away the laughs, and you have someone abusing her power in truly evil ways. Angela's management style isn't just inappropriate, it's psychological warfare. She enjoys watching others squirm and suffer under her thumb, and she uses her authority to test moral boundaries. That kind of sadistic leadership isn't just unprofessional, it's malicious. Diane Simmons. Diane Simmons is a perfect example of someone hiding behind a mask of normalcy. As Quahog's local news anchor, Diane came across as polished, smart, and respected. But under that facade was a deeply bitter, resentful woman, one capable of murder. In the episode And Then There Were Fewer, Diane is revealed to be the mastermind behind a killing spree that left multiple characters dead. Her motive? Jealousy and revenge.
First husband blow his brains out?
Oh, God!
When Tom Tucker received an award she believed was hers, she decided the only path forward was bloodshed. Not only did she plan the murders, but she calmly executed them and manipulated others in the process. Diane's evil lies in how calmly she plans her crimes and how easily she switches from public persona to cold-blooded killer. Even after being caught, she showed little remorse. She believed she was justified, which is perhaps the most chilling aspect of her character, her complete self-righteousness. Herbert the Pervert.
The best targets are old rich people. There's one now. Go get him.
Oh no, there's no police here to help me. I hope you don't find the money strapped to my...
Now let's talk about one of the most disturbing characters in Family Guy, Herbert. Often played for laughs, Herbert is an old man with a clear and unsettling attraction to young boys, particularly Chris Griffin. Make no mistake, Herbert is not a harmless weirdo. He's a predator. He stalks children, leaves gifts for Chris, tries to lure him into his home, and even creates manipulative situations to be alone with him.
That was a bad snap. I'm hurt, kids. Don't eat those popsicles till I get down there.
In any other context, Herbert would be the villain in a horror movie or a true crime documentary.
Take 4. That's enough. Happy Halloween.
The only reason he's not treated with more gravity in the show is because the subject is cloaked in humor. But behind those whispers and that soft-spoken voice lies someone who continuously preys on vulnerable children and hides behind the excuse of old age. He is not just a creepy neighbor, he's an active threat. And what's worse? No one in Quahog stops him. He's allowed to live freely, make advances on Chris, and roam the neighborhood without consequence. The town turns a blind eye to his evil, making his continued presence even more horrifying.
The end of the...
Bonnie Swanson. Bonnie may seem like a harmless housewife, constantly exhausted by her husband Joe's overbearing personality and her responsibilities as a mother. But dig deeper, and you'll find a woman who manipulates those around her for personal gain and has little loyalty to anyone. She cheats on Joe repeatedly, emotionally and physically, and has openly admitted to wanting him dead just so she could start over.
Joe, I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible shot.
In one episode, she even tries to seduce other men while Joe is in the room. But what makes Bonnie especially evil is her constant portrayal as the victim while she emotionally destroys the people around her. She uses guilt as a weapon, gaslights Joe, and has even abandoned her family for personal gratification. She treats her baby like a burden, disappears for days, and has no remorse about how her behavior affects those around her. Her evil isn't as flashy as Stewie's or as deadly as Diane's, but it's insidious. It's the slow poison of manipulation, the kind that corrodes a family from the inside out. Ernie the Giant Chicken.
Let go of the check.
Ernie, if he wants to...
Stay out of this.
Don't you talk to my wife like that.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do about it?
At first glance, Ernie might seem like a joke character. He shows up out of nowhere, fights Peter in epic, building-smashing brawls, and then disappears. But when you really examine what he represents, Ernie is more than a punchline. He's a force of chaotic evil. Ernie doesn't fight Peter out of justice or for any clear reason. The first fight starts because of an expired coupon. Every fight after that is pure revenge or for sport. He causes mass destruction, sends people to the hospital, and creates widespread mayhem just because he enjoys it. In the world of Family Guy, Ernie is an embodiment of violence for violence's sake. His vendetta with Peter has led to collateral damage, innocent casualties, and the destruction of public property. If this were real life, Ernie would be considered a terrorist, a being who terrorizes the city with no regard for human life. And he always comes back, never defeated, always with another trick up his sleeve. He represents the kind of evil that doesn't need motivation, just opportunity. Lois Griffin.
All right, Joe, it's showtime.
Lois Griffin may be framed as the voice of reason, the one keeping the Griffin family in check. But the truth is far darker. Behind her soft voice and suburban exterior lies a manipulative, narcissistic, and emotionally abusive woman.
The rest from the car.
Chris, run! You were right. She didn't appreciate it.
Oh, crap!
Lois doesn't just enable the dysfunction in her household, she fuels it. Lois has cheated on Peter multiple times and often uses seduction as a means of control. She's had affairs with Bill Clinton, Mayor West, and even Meg's boyfriends. But it's not just the cheating, it's the emotional neglect. Lois constantly mocks Meg, her own daughter, pushing her deeper into self-loathing and depression. From laughing at Meg's pain to ignoring her cries for help, Lois acts as if her daughter's suffering is a joke. And then there's her rage. Lois has shown violent tendencies, including physical abuse toward her children and Peter. In some episodes, her sadistic side takes center stage, like when she becomes addicted to shoplifting or when she fights and attempts to kill Stewie in a rage-fueled brawl. She even murdered her brother Patrick by drowning him in a tub, all while smiling. Lois is not a misguided wife. She's a predator hiding in plain sight. Her moral compass doesn't just malfunction, it doesn't exist.
Deep breath and smell it.
Ah, what is that?
4 days of...
Peter Griffin. It might seem strange to call Peter Griffin evil. After all, he's the show's main character and supposed to be a lovable oaf. But when you strip away the slapstick and analyze his behavior, Peter crosses into deeply disturbing territory. Peter is not just stupid. He is dangerously selfish. He endangers lives constantly, often for personal gain or amusement. He's committed fraud, arson, theft, and in some cases, literal murder.
Basket!
Remember when he glued his daughter's hands together? Or when he sold Meg into slavery?
Thanks.
Or how about the time he let Joe believe he could walk again just to see him humiliated?
Well, that was sadder than what I was going for.
His recklessness results in real pain. He's killed people in car accidents, destroyed city blocks in drunken stunts, and emotionally wrecked everyone around him. He's abusive to Lois, violent toward Meg, and regularly neglects Stewie. What makes Peter's evil so terrifying is how society enables it. He suffers no consequences. He's never truly held accountable. He keeps hurting others, laughing, and moving on like nothing happened. He is chaos incarnate, and no one in Quahog stops him. Brian Griffin. Brian wants you to think he's the good guy, the intellectual, the voice of morality. But behind the pseudo-intellectualism and liberal values is a cruel, manipulative, self-serving narcissist.
No, I'm sorry.
Brian constantly uses women, sleeping with them and discarding them the moment they no longer boost his ego. He cheats, lies, and gaslights them, and then blames them for being crazy. He once dated a woman just to get a writing gig and dumped her when it didn't work out. But it's not just romance. Brian is cruel to his friends. He constantly insults Peter, demeans Meg, and emotionally abuses Stewie, despite claiming to be his best friend. In some episodes, he sabotages others' happiness because he can't stand not being the center of attention. One of the most revealing moments is when Brian confesses that he doesn't really believe in anything. He just says whatever will get him validation. That's not just sad, it's psychopathic. He pretends to have a conscience, but it's all for show. Brian is a wolf in dog's clothing.
I'll tell you when it's coming.
Quagmire Glenn.
It's Quagmegium.
Quagmire is perhaps the most blatantly evil character on the show, and yet he's often passed off as a pervy joke. But let's be clear, Quagmire isn't funny. He's a serial predator.
Genie.
Aww.
I heard a cute aw in there. Cool down.
He has an extensive criminal record of sexual misconduct. He's been caught spying on women, drugging them, coercing them, and even imprisoning them. In one episode, he's revealed to have kept a woman locked in his basement for years. That's not just inappropriate, it's horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
He sleeps with women under false pretenses, ignores consent, and shows zero remorse. And he's not above crossing into incest, flirting with Lois, Meg, and even engaging with Peter's mom. His obsession with sex isn't a quirk, it's a pathology. What's worse is his intelligence. Quagmire knows the law, understands social cues, and is fully aware of the consequences. He just doesn't care. That makes him even more dangerous. He's not a clueless pervert. He's a predator who smiles while ruining lives.
I wasn't sure what people like, so I got some with seeds on them and some without.
Tom Tucker.
Of course you do.
Tom Tucker is the polished face of Quahog's media. But beneath that smile is a man driven by vanity, selfishness, and cold-blooded ambition. He's not just shallow, he's venomous. Tom routinely exploits tragedies for ratings, lies to the public, and twists news stories for personal gain. In one episode, he frames Peter for a crime to boost his career.
Sticks.
In another, he broadcasts live footage of private moments just to stir controversy. He's a terrible father, abandoning his son to pursue fame, and treating his child as an obstacle rather than a responsibility. And when his career is threatened, he lashes out at those closest to him. Tom's evil is insidious. He hides behind charisma and professional polish, but when it counts, he will throw anyone under the bus to protect his ego. That's the mark of a true sociopath.
Delicious, Tom. I guess we should be eating her with chopsticks.
Oh my God.